Hi, and you're welcome to Sarah Football. My name is Rafael Banaman Kwoti, and after a spirited encounter at the Kumasi Babayara Sports Stadium, the senior national team, the Black Stars, they managed to beat their nemesis from the Central African Republic by 4 goals to 3. So, thumbs up to them. This is me hoisting the flag of Ghana. I mean, they've done us the honors, they've been able to win for us against all odds. So let's delve deep and speak about this particular match involving the Black Stars as well as the Central African Republic. Even though Ghana might have won by 4 goals to 3, there are a bit of pointers that I picked up from this particular game. So first and foremost, in the very first half of that game, after we had gone ahead within the very first 5 minutes of that game, 5 minutes, Jordan Ayew shot us into the lead through a penalty. In my estimation, I felt the penalty was a bit soft, but regardless, he shot Ghana into the lead. His 103rd appearance for the side, and he was able to capture that with that goal. Then it felt as though Ghana had just gone asleep because the 2 goals we conceded from Luis Mofatao, he grabbed that is a hat trick on the day. But the first 2 goals we considered in the very first half, I felt that, I mean, on the back note of how we defended, our defensive shape was very poor in the first half. The way our players were moving up high the pitch because our centre backs in Jiku and Salisu, they were just moving up the pitch. And I don't know if it was an instruction from Coach Utuado. By the way, they were just moving up the pitch. It wasn't desirable at all. Our fullbacks, in the persons of Ali Duseidu as well as Gideon Mensah, I mean, there were portions of the game where they were just marauding the flanks with no real effects, with no real intention and purpose to how they were moving in the game. I felt that technically the coach should have seen that and pointed that out to how they were playing in the first half. But good, I mean, once we were down by 2 goals to 1 in the first half, the coach and his technical team might have picked up 1 or 2 things which helped us to win by 4 goals to 3. When you look at our midfield combo of Salis as well as Thomas Partey, consistently I've asked myself why we continually play these two pair in the heart of midfield, because these two guys, I mean, some way to a very large extent modeled in the same shape and form. These are two players that some say they complement each other, but I do not see how they complement each other because there is no real sense of intensity to which they play. The creativity is lacking. In the first half, we saw that our midfield was totally non-existent with a pair. I mean, they were just found in wrong sections of the pitch. They were most often than not, they were just caught napping. Look at the very first true pass that Geoffrey Kondogbia gave to that is Luis Mufatao, that it just disintegrated our defensive shape. And I was asking myself that where was the defensive cover for that is our defense? It was totally non-existent. But in the second half, at least I saw massive improvement. I saw that these two had upped their game. They were complementing each other. They were sacrificing each other. They were cutting a lot of grass here and there. We moved to the attacking side, which involved Fatawi Sahaku as well as Kamaldeen Sulemana. Consistently, I asked myself that what made Fatau Isaku one of the best players in the championship last season. It was because he was playing at the right side of attack. He was taking on defenders. He was creating a lot of goals. He was getting a lot of freedom to operating. I was asking myself why Coach Utuado, knowing the strengths that and the sort of attacking potency that Fatah Isaku brought to the side, why was he playing him at the left side of attack? Because he was virtually inefficient in the first half. But God being so good, I mean, he found sense, shifted him to the right side of attack, shifted Kamaldeen Suleimana to the left side, Kamaldeen Suleimana, I mean, first start in as many in his in a, I think that was his first start for the Black Stars, and I particularly was not impressed with how he played. I felt that on the back of the fact that he had come straight from injury, I was thinking that Coach Otuado would have played someone like Ernest Chiama, who was totally impressive far away in Mali. I was thinking he was going to play Ernest Chiama in that role, but it didn't happen. Second half, the boys upped their game. They played to a certain duty. They knew that there was a sense of purpose to which they had to play. And I was particularly impressed with how they rallied themselves from 2 goals to one to meet to win the game by 4 goals to 3. As well as speaking about the defensive shape, in defense between Adedou Seidu, player like Jiku Salisu, as well as Gideon Mensah. And you look at our midfield duo of Thomas Partey and that is Salis. I mean, they were just not there. I also look at certain aspects of the game, and I'm looking at the no creativity, which I've mentioned, because there was virtually no creativity in the heart of midfield between Salis as well as Thomas Partey. In our first half, we created that is very few chances, because in the first half our goal attempts was 6, shot on target was 2, shots off target was 4, 59%. That was our possession. In the second half, that's when we're playing a bit with more purpose. In our second half, we created that is 10 goal attempts, 7. Shots of targets were 3. So out of the 7, that is when we managed to score 3 from that particular occasion. Jordan with 2 and Fatah Isaku with the other. After Jordan has scored initially from the first half. So I'm looking at how we are going to play other sides, because I mean, no disrespect to Central African Republic, but if you are playing against a top side like Egypt, a top side like Morocco, Algeria, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, I mean, you can't consider 3 goals against these two sides. Coach Otuado needs to know that you can't play 2 matches and concede 4 and score 6. I mean, it's not a step in the right direction. The defensive shape, they need a stern warning. They need to be spoken to. They need to up their game, because now we have an array of players that could play in the defensive lineup. If one is not performing, you just bundle them out and bring the next person in there. Kudus, I mean, Kudus in the 2 games that we played, I think in the Mali game, Kudus was kept quiet. Kudus was not his usual self. In the first half of the game against Central African Republic, Kudus, he didn't really impress me. But the second half, when everybody started playing with a little bit of attacking intensity, I saw Kudus much more in the game. I saw how he was able to rise up above the occasion, taking on defenders, creating a lot of chances, creating fouls, and drawing a lot of fouls for himself. And I felt that once we're able to get a player like Kudus more on the ball and give him a good role to which he will play, I mean, we'll get the best out of a player like that is Mohamed Kudus. Thomas Partey himself, I didn't enjoy his leadership organization. I felt that he should have imposed himself better to how the boys were going to play, because in the first half, there was no leadership in midfield. There was no leadership. The entirety of the first half, there was no leadership acumen that I saw in the game. I felt that once Ghana had gone behind 2 goals to 1, that is when I was expecting Thomas Partey to calm the boys down, calm their nerves down. Because once we were able to do that, I mean, it would have helped in a good way. But it didn't happen. Thumbs up to them. They've been able to rally themselves up. Won 4 goals to 3 at the Kumasi Barara Sports Stadium. Our next qualifiers will come up somewhere next year. But on this note, these are some of the pointers I picked up in our game against that is the Central African Republic. Currently, we talk after 4 rounds of games with 9 points. Um, Madagascar have played 3 games. They have 6. They scored 5, conceded 2. Comoros with that is 6 points. Mali with 4 points. Central African Republic, the team we beat just this evening, they have 4 points. Chad, they are having no points from 4 rounds of games in the World Cup qualify. So on this note, that's where I draw down the curtains on today's analysis of Black Stars 4-3 victory over Central African Republic in the ongoing 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification. On this note, my name is Rafael Banaman Quote. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please do so to click on the button below. Keep up alive with sports.